where it, like,
Okay,
shows
and
different things.
it has like six small short story horrors in it, and
Yes.
like
Yeah.
they had like the one where the woman was pregnant, but she was pregnant with like this demon baby, and then that
Oh
demon baby like
yeah.
destroyed this entire complex. There was the one with the girl that was just like, I love you, and he's just like, oh yeah, and then they took her to the room, and then like while they were in the room, one dude was going berserk, and he's just like, yeah, gotta bang all the girls, and he was going crazy, but then she just starts eating people, and this is like, whoa, what the hell, and like it just gets real, like it's real. In the zombie apocalypse one, like
Oh
that one
yeah.
was crazy too. Like, but I thought that movie was an interesting change of pace, from what you usually see, because most
Right.
crap you see come out is just like, oh hey, I'm on a spaceship. Oh well, now there's alien zombie donkeys. It's all over. Like,
Alien zombie donkeys, boy, you funny.
yeah, that's usually what movies span out to be these days. It's just like something ridiculous is killing us, and no one knows how they're getting through. And then they're just like halfway through the movie, it's like, wait, they're using the water, and then like then they try to figure out how to destroy it, like stuff like that you end up watching, and you just get tired of it. Or it's like Paranormal Activity
Thank you.
'92,
I'm
like
sorry. Now I'm
like
sorry. Don't besides the first one, but all the Paranormal Activity movies, I hate those. I just
Yeah.
like it takes me. It takes so long to build up, then I lose interest. And you want to see the actual activity, the real activity towards the end of the movie. I'm like, come on, man. So I spend like five like $15 or $6 just to watch this one. 15 years up somebody coming with me, but it's like it's awful. I was like, I can never stand that. I mean, I have a bad habit of giving a bad movie a chance, and I pay for it in the end because it's like I don't understand. Like I like okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. At one time, one I think it was three. No, it was four. I almost walked out the theater to go get my money because it was that dumb to me. I'm like, I was like, come
God,
on, man.
God damn.
It
I
was,
think the only movie that I've ever felt like, hey, let me get my money back was the remake of Poltergeist from this year because it was so tragic.
it was tragic
oh
for real.
It was,
oh
y'all haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
it was a remake of a good movie. Of course, I didn't see
Like,
it. That doesn't make sense.
like
Why would I go watch
I'm
something
the only
great
reason
be turned into
exactly it's a
crap?
remake. So I was like, okay, it might be okay because y'all know some remakes are good, but I was
Right.
like, okay, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and I'm gonna check it out. So I went and saw it and it was going okay. And then like after like the first 25, 30 minutes, it was kind of like a downward spiral of what is this trash?
Wow.
I'm trying to remember like what was so bad about it because it's been a while. It's just like they changed a few things
I
that were in
hate
the
that.
original movie, and I
I hate
expected that
that.
because it was a remake, but they changed it for the worst.
That's my problem when I know with remakes. I understand you got to make certain changes, but don't take out the change what make the movie great. You know what I'm saying? It's like that.
Yeah,
That's what bothers me about remakes. It's like
yeah,
I don't know.
It's I don't know how to like say this and for it to be in any way good, but like you should just kind of just leave it in the past. I mean, you just got to get good with new ideas. It's the fact that like right now we're kind of in a creative slump. So right now they're just taking like they're looking for good stuff from the past and trying to give it to a new generation and create like a fan service, create like a cult classic.
Right,
Some
right,
for people to branch onto and to grab because it was good. Initially when it first happened and it was okay, and then like it fell off. But since people don't really know about it, they're trying to bring it back. And
right.
yeah,
but they're bringing it back with the technology that we have today, and the stuff that made it good was the screenwriting, the way that it was set, the
Right.
atmosphere. And back in
yeah.
the day, people were like they were superficial. There was a lot of like stuff, and like now we're a little desensitized because we done seen some shit. I mean, we got
Right.
Dead Space, we got Gears of War, we Grand Theft Auto. Like violence is like here before violence was a little more frowned upon, so people like closed mind about it. And
Right.
then you see something like The Blob, and you just like, oh my
Uh,
god,
God.
like
The
like
Blob. I'm
Jello is
sorry.
killing
The
people.
Blob scared me because I know because the Blob was a remake of like I think of 19.
Oh yeah, no, that remake
That
that came out in the
remake.
'90s
Yeah, the
was
remake.
horrifying.
It was because it's like look, I'm gonna be real with you. Because when I saw it, I want to say I was at least maybe 10. I want to say I was probably 10 years old. And I don't know why I started watching TV. I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, I could never eat Jello again. I was like, for real. I was, come man, look, I was afraid to stick my hand in the sink. Man, I was afraid to walk on the ground. I was afraid to walk towards the soup. I was afraid because that's how. That to me, that's what make a good horror movie because like it gets me afraid. I like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I was like, sleep with all the lights on because I was that terrified of that movie.
Yeah. Let me think. What's a movie that had me really shook? Okay. I feel like this. Everybody can agree with this. Okay. There's generational horror movies. Let's say there's a horror movie when you were a kid. There's a horror movie when you're a teenager. And there's that horror movie that when you're an adult is always going to be in your mind. So I'm going to go ahead and throw out my 3 generational movies. All right, okay. Go ahead. You got Chucky. When I was coming up,
I'm done.
Chucky ruined my life.
I'm done. Chucky.
I couldn't handle it. Okay. First time I saw Chucky, I think I was like 9, maybe. I was in between the ages of 7 to 9. No. And it ruined my life because there were dolls all over the house at the time because of my mom and sister. And I felt like at any point they were going to come to life and eat my face. I just couldn't handle it. Number two, let me think about when I was a teenager. Well, I'm still technically a teenager. When I was a younger teenager, it would probably be...
She said high school years. She said high school years. You go with that.
I don't know. Probably Scream, even though I saw Scream when I was a teenager for the first time, which is really late, but it had me messed up for some reason. I had to like walk around with the lights on all the time because I thought somebody was looking at me through my window.
Did you answer your phone?
And then, and when I answered my phone, I always thought it was gonna be him, like, yeah, she did see me, and all that stuff. I'm like, get out of here. And then the movie that right now I will always be scared of is The Babadook.
Oh my god, yes, The Babadook. God, so that movie.
Can't handle it. Freaky.
That movie was freaky though. I admit that movie.
The Baba what?
The Babadook. It came out last year.
I got Netflix. That's all I got to say. I saw that movie too. I was tripped out.
It's on Netflix.
It's on that Netflix.
I might give it a look-see because I mean I haven't seen it. I mean now in this day, like when I was a kid, I didn't get scared by much. I was more scared of dark than any horror movie I've seen. I seen Halloween. Halloween to me was just like some creepy guy with a mask, stabbing people. Like that wasn't anything like scary to me. And then I saw Jason. Jason wasn't scary. Jason was just like, man, this white lady really just tripped when there's nothing around. There's no grass or nothing. She ain't hit a rock or nothing.
I would say this. That's like, your boy ain't racist, but with the white woman running and they falling out of nowhere, I'm like, I'm in the theater. Get up! I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, wait. What she tripped on? I don't see what she tripped at. What she tripped at? Like, I'm here trying to root for it. Then I'm looking like, what she tripped on? I'm looking like, what's going on? What you tripped on, girl? So it's like, Jesus, my generation of movies, I would have to say, as a kid wise, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, I was like, oh my god, I didn't go to sleep for days. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Oh my goodness, it didn't scare me. It just kind of like, guy killing people in his sleep. Maybe. I mean, I could get down. I saw a couple of those movies. I'm just like, man, like it's pretty dirty, but it wasn't anything that shook me. Like the movies that scared me were like movies that can't possibly ever happen. Like for instance, like Dreamcatcher. Like I saw that movie and I damn near didn't crap for years. Like I saw that movie and I was like, the first part that scared me was these giant alien mucus blob things, like just jumping into people's heads and blowing up and like attacking them in their mind. Like when I saw that, I was like, dog, them things are horrifying. But then those little like poop monsters coming out of people's asses just killing people. Like it just shook me so much. And I had a nightmare the very next night. And it was like the nightmare didn't even make any sense. Like it was just like an alien sitting at a table drinking tea with a gentleman's accent, and I was laying on the couch and I couldn't move. It is just looking at me for hours. And I'm telling you, like, that shook me so much that I could not deal after that movie. Like,
Like,
I
nothing's
don't
gonna
know why.
happen,
I
right?
just get scared of stuff that can't happen.
I mean, I think that's what make a good. I think that would make a good scary movie because you think sometimes it's the impossible, or you think it's going to happen until they actually make a movie that is going to happen. But here's the next topic I want to say. Like, what is the god awful worst horror movie have you ever seen? Because I know we've seen our fair share of this.
Oh, let's see. Talk about horror movies below budgets, right? Well, let's see. We got Hatchet. All right, Hatchet is just like,
You know how many
like
sequels that came out with Hatchet?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
I've seen them all. I've seen them all. I have seen them all.
Yeah, they're just the most ridiculous. This gigantic white guy in the woods just cutting people up in the goofiest way possible. Like, my favorite all-time kill, by the way, is giant chainsaw comes out of the bushes and lift these guys up. Like, what? This chainsaw is like 32 feet long. This man pulls the chainsaw, lifts it up under these guys, and cuts them in half. And I'm just like, I'm done. This man not only can lift this chainsaw, but he can lift people on this chainsaw. And it's just so ridiculous. Like, the way he kills people is so stupid. It's just a giant gore spree.
Yeah, that's true. Mike, what's yours?
Oh, okay. I don't know if you can consider this a horror movie, but because the director is so full of himself, I'm pretty sure he would call it a horror movie. Remember that movie with Mark Wahlberg, directed by M. Night Shyamalan?
Oh my god, that tragedy! That tragedy! Oh my god! Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I thought you were gonna say the last Airbender, because that was a travesty too.
Oh my god,
that is a horror movie.
But yeah, the hat man. And I look. The thing is, I sit there. I watched it happening. I was like, okay, so what's causing this? Oh, it's the plants. What? So
yeah, like what?
The plants.
Like how do I understand. Like, we destroy this planet. I'm sorry, us as people, we destroy this planet.
Okay, I got that part though.
The plants hurt us, but like it doesn't make sense.
Like,
I can't have a good opinion on that movie because it was so boring. I fell asleep on it like halfway through. I really tried, and people just started dropping for no reason, and I never got to the part where they explain what's going down. I'm just like, man, this doesn't make sense. This is like if everyone just developed like cerebral palsy and like instantly together, like everyone just dropping and just trying to kill themselves. Like, what is going on in this movie?
Oh, geez, that's the worst. God.
Like, once they finally told us the plan.
When it happened, they told it. It's like it didn't help because like the acting was bad. It's like I like with Jar-mon because like I said, I have a habit of giving a bad movie a chance, and I pay for it in the end. Because then what made me more upset with this movie always happened in another part of the country. I said, please don't make a sequel. Please don't make a sequel. Don't make a sequel to this. Because that was like, I feel like that was bad. I said my worst horror movie I ever seen, and this was based off a video game, was called House of the Dead.
Oh,
I swear!
I did watch that
House
movie.
of the Dead.
House of the Dead.
I did watch that movie,
man.
Like, no.
Man, yep. Because I know this for another topic. Cause I do want to talk about horror video games and how the game wise, House of the Dead is pretty good. So I was decided here to come to a movie. Man, they on the beach partying, and they don't get to the house at the end of the movie. I'm like, what? This is like. Then they had the characters to the end of the film that was also bothers me. And then on top of that, they made a sequel of House of the Dead, and this one started in a college. I was like, God, this is awful. It's like, why am I giving this movie a chance? I mean, like, okay, it's like, for me, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm a harsh critic when video games come to a movie, and we know the
That's
one
understandable.
Can't be harsher than me.
No, Jamal, when it comes to harsh, man, you might as well be on. Like, they should hire you be on X Play because you are like judge, jury, executioner when it comes.
He's savage. His savage levels are too high.
I mean, like,
Too
I mean,
high.
I understand you want to add your own characters. I feel that. I understand, but the thing is, like we said before, when you make something, like don't take out the one thing that makes the game great. Because right now the movie was like, oh, it's nothing but a sex fest, and that's another problem I have with horror movies. A lot of horror movies are sex fests. It's like, oh, we're gonna bang here, bang there. Cause I had a problem with Hostel, the first one. Cause they didn't get to the actual gore until like middle of the film, and I got bored after that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the thing about horror movies today is I think they just don't know how to get the atmosphere right. You know, I like before and they really knew how to set the mood in a horror movie like to get you just to that point. It's like what kind of showing you what's going on. People it's getting intense and you know, it's all heating up, but they haven't really found out what's taking people out, what's
Right.
why the movie's scary just yet. And then when they introduce that character, they do it in such a way that's really dramatic, and then they can carry all of that drama and intensity all the way through to the end of the movie. And today, you know, it just everything's made real cheapy now. You know, like
Yeah.
jump scares is a big thing now. Like
Whatever happened to environmental and like just
Right.
ambiance?
yeah,
Just
musical
like just
ambiance
feeling
is taking a
scared,
back
not
seat.
just getting
Yeah,
jump scared.
saying
Yeah,
jump
like,
scares is a
if I'm
big
watching
thing
something
now.
scary,
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah,
I like a good jump scare like the next person, but if it's not, like you said, if it's not really like you said, like the mood ain't right, then what's the point of that jump scare? You know what I'm saying?
It's heavily choreographed, you know, like you can see it coming from a mile away. It's just like, oh, I'm in a dark hallway by myself. Okay, the intensity's building up, and then that's when the jump scare happens. I'm just like,
Right.
man, like you could see that coming from a
Right.
mile away. Like it's never anything that catches you off guard, and they do that too often in movies. Is that
I agree
they
with that.
really lead you on a string to everywhere that you're going,
Right.
and like they don't leave enough any air for you to connect the dots, and then for it to just happen and hit you. You know?
I feel you.
yeah.
I definitely feel it because cause like these two movies right quick. Like one of the movies like The Thing. It's like to me that's one of my favorite all time horror classics because you don't know who is who, and you think of like what's going on. Then I remember they made the remake to The Thing, and they made it even more terrifying because you didn't know who was who because like the movie did a lot of misdirections. Where you think one person is the bad guy, then, oops, here comes this person. Like I like
Yeah.
I like misdirections in a horror movie because like you think to yourself like, oh, I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Then hey, surprise, here we go. You know, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
just like the greatest horror movie I've seen. Like, and you know, like say besides that, because like the remake of the prequel or remake, how you want to call it. I think that came out like what 2012. I think I can't remember. I got to double check and
Uh-huh.
see. But the remake of the thing was really good. I like how it. Like I say, but like to me, misdirection's always good in a horror movie because. Like I said, you think you know the answer, but that's what I miss out about horror movies. You think you know, but you don't.
No,
That's what I miss.
I did
yeah,
like that
like,
a lot, by the way. I did like the Thing remake. It was really good eye candy. I didn't care too much for the story so much. It was very convoluted, but you
Yeah,
know, the way they did get the thing atmosphere, I was caught
right.
off guard by some of the stuff in there, like especially at the beginning, just at the beginning when like that first dude was a thing and they thought they had got rid of it completely and then it
Right.
turns out it got somebody else and then that girl's like, oh, I saw this other dude doing some bullshit, and then they go into that shed alone and then she's just like, where's the key? And then that girl's like it just like transformed behind her and changing, and I was like, whoa, didn't see that coming. And then like after that
no.
that dude walked in and he's just like, hey, what's going on? And then he just
Right.
got I was
Yeah.
just like, man,
No.
like, and then, but the thing about it is, I've never, even with the old thing, I don't understand the whole how the thing worked because they did say that
Yeah.
every cell is like different,
Yeah.
but I don't understand how, like, does it just go and just knocks off as many
Now
people as it can and just makes new people?
that's why I don't
Like,
understand. Like that's why I wish it would
yeah,
explain to like how do people get infected. Like hey, that's why I want horror movies like that. Like case in point, Jeepers Creepers. I love the first one. I didn't care too much about the second one. I heard they're making a third one.
Yeah.
So let me tell you why I didn't
no.
Oh yes, oh yes. Cause let me tell you why. Cause the second one, I was excited. I went to the theaters. I'm like, made explain more about the creeper. And you know what I found? You know what they said? And I quote: "Every 23rd spring, every 23 days he eat." We know that. What else can you tell us about this guy? What else? And it's like it don't give me that. That's the thing. I have a problem with that. Now they come up with the third one. Supposedly this is the last of the movie because they bring back the chick from the very first film and they bring back the father and son duo from the second film. So I'm hoping, because right now, as I am, I will watch that boy on DVD and be satisfied. I will be satisfied because the second movie, it's just like you're not giving me a reason what to care for the character. Yes, I know he eat people. Yes, I know he had to eat hearts. That eat heads just to get different parts. I get that. That's what I love about the first film. But you're not helping with the second film. Like, why should I care about this character?
Yeah. So that's the struggle. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
God dang.
I mean, cause like I said, because the first movie had a cult following. Everybody loves the movie. I asked many people about the movie. They love it. I love it. That's what I'm talking about it now. But the second one, even though it's like, oh, we got more victims this time, and that's another problem with me though. In certain horror movies, especially these found footage movies, like you have less victims, and they try to drag it on so much, to like either kill them or let them leave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like.
Go ahead. It's just casting.
Yeah.
It's just to me, it's just a whole lot. They don't get like a lot of good actors anymore. I think they really just try to fill out a roster, and then after they fill out the roster, like you don't feel like I feel like a lot of characters in movies just dead. You know, like I'm just like, you know, if they died, I honestly would not care. Like that's something that you would think about. Like I want to feel a little connection to the people, so that way if they do get knocked off, that you feel it. You know, but it's not. You don't get that anymore. Like it's just dead. It's just walking meat. That's what these people pretty much are. You just don't feel anything.
I feel like
no more.
It's tragic. It's tragic when I know you say this is another topic for another day, but I'm gonna touch on it real quick.
I
feel like it's tragic when a game, for example, Until Dawn, which is a fantastic horror game.
Oh my god!
A horror game makes me feel more captivated. Yes, a game makes me feel more captivated than any movie in like the last 5 years, except for like Babadook and Prometheus, which scarred me for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I like especially the whole alien thing. That did kind of scar me. I'm like, you know, they ain't come like towards the middle and end of the movie. I was like, oh my god. Especially that little tentacle monster. I'm like, oh my god, what? But that was inside her. I'm like, I was tripped out.
Bruh, wait. Let me ask y'all a question. I'm so sorry. Okay, go ahead. Okay, how do you guys feel about this? Okay, speaking of Prometheus.
Okay.
What horror movie had the most cringe-worthy scene for you in the terms of grossness or absolute sheer horror? Because that movie for me would be Prometheus. When she went to go cut it out of her stomach, that machine wasn't designed for women. That goofed her up. She's done.
If I had to say the cringe-worthy movie, it had to be God, what's the name of that movie?
I would just say any zombie apocalypse thing ever, because honestly, when you get that refrigerator box death and you're on the ground and you're just like and they're reaching into your guts and pulling out your intestines every time that happens. I'm just like, dog, that is the worst death that you can get. Like they're eating you alive, pulling your organs out. Like you're just like you're a refrigerator. Just oh well, I'm getting me some kidneys. Oh well, I'm gonna go ahead and get me this liver. Like they're just eating you on the floor every time I see that death, which they find a way to put it in every zombie movie ever.
They do.
Whenever I see that death, I'm like, oh my god, I could not be killed that way. Like if they even got close, like I would place my hands on my neck and just like I would just off myself right then there, because I could not like have a death that ugly. That death is so disgusting. Every time I see that death, I'm like, dog, that is the worst possible death. Because at that moment, this is the two things that are guaranteed. One, you dead. Two, there's not gonna be anything left of you. Like this is when all the other zombies like, look, they got something over there, and then they come to eat, and they gonna be eating the meat off your bones. You gonna be one of those corpses that's just like clothes on the ground. Like that's what's happening to you.
Somebody bringing that dinner bell. Come and get it. We got more left over.
You screaming, and the noise brings more, and so they're just like they just come over there and they just eat, and just like, and then it's just like, where's Rick? And then you just see like a T-shirt on the ground.
Yeah.
T-shirt and a spinal cord.
I say one of the most cringing deaths I ever seen is in the Final Destination movie. The last one they made when old girl doing that.
She got caught in the escalator.
Yeah, dog. I was like, that's one. But that one, then the last one they made with the gymnast girl, and she got caught, and all that dust flew in her eye, and she hit the mat. She like, I was like, oh.
I sure did forget about it. Final Destination is a little cringeworthy. They got some like, especially that dude that was working out. He's like, yeah, he was getting it in, and then them little bars came down, just like, I was like, whoa, whoa.
Check your surroundings before you work out.
Yeah. I think my favorite, like, / grossest / worst one is, I think it's in like the newest Final Destination movie where like the bridge is breaking up, which is, by the way, this is the most ridiculous movie out of all of them, right?
It is, but
the bridge is breaking up because of something, and then old girl falls off and lands on like the spearhead of the boat. Like her intestines like are strung up from it, and I'm like, bruh, what is that?
Like, this is not
that movie was insane.
I'll give credit for Final Destinations. I give for 1, 2, and like 4 and 5. If I'm saying that right, because like the misdirection in those movies is great. Because like you thinking it's gonna happen this way, because you know how people's gonna die. Like you had you didn't know, and I think that was cringing to me. It's like, I'm like, oh, she gonna get shot. Oh no, she's not gonna get shot. I said, okay, so how's she gonna die? So I'm thinking she gonna be safe, but then she just. That dust from her eye, and it was a wrap. Especially that one guy who the Buddha head smashed his face in.
Yeah.
I cringed on that one. I just was like, oh my god. I was like, I guess she made fun of Buddha, huh? But oh man, that sent chills down my spine.
Yeah, like that. Those movies were just insanity. And then was it the fourth one where it was like they were at a NASCAR track? And then, like, they had the huge, like, NASCAR.
Yeah. And all them cars was tearing people up, dog.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I was like, damn, like, one that does, like, the little engine or air or helium tank, wherever it was, hit the dude to the fence, and, like, his body started going into pieces as he's going through the fence. That junk was trippy. Yep. That junk was trippy. I am not going to lie about that. I was tripping balls. I'm like, whoa. Like,
oh my god,
that just like literally like that really, I don't know, like the Final Destination films, good or bad, they were cringe worthy. Cause like my thing, like how they like, because they use so much misdirections. Like I said, that to me that would bring me misdirection. Like that was good.
Yeah, like no matter how bad the acting could have been or how bad like the writing could have been, no matter what, the deaths were always crucial.
It was like,
just no matter ugly, just the ugliest thing you've seen. Just like, it's like every death is an adaptation of that show, 1,000 Ways to Die. And
it is.
By the way, that show got me messed up because I done seen some